indentation of a bird. I don't know why I said bird like that, but my brain went, I'm not sure what word you're trying to say. Hey guys, welcome back. So got a little look into the Wet n Wild summer collection. This is the Flights of Fancy collection. So I didn't purchase everything in the collection, but I did purchase the box set that has quite a few products in here. So I'm gonna run through the different goodies in this set, show you some swatches, let you know my thoughts on this set, this whole collection, and just do a little look into it. So let's get to it. So a quick little look at what comes in the box set. There are 3 different eyeshadow palettes. There are 3 different blushes, 4 different glosses, a primer spray, 2 eyeliners, and then a lip scrub. So I was super excited about all the things that they put in the box set this time. A little bit less excited about the primer spray and the lip scrub, but pretty much everything else, especially this area over here, like super duper got me excited about this collection. So let's get to it. So starting with the primer spray, this is the Photo Focus Primer Water Spray. I wanted to pull up some info on this product because I really wasn't sure what the claims are, but the Wet n Wild's website says, give your skin some love with just a few spritzes of perfection that will keep you refreshed and glowing all summer long. Lightweight primer spray can be used to prep, set, and refresh makeup throughout the day. So I did use this today before putting on my makeup, and first off, I really like the packaging to it. It's like a chubby sort of a spritzer thingy, and it has a really nice spray to it. It's not like a you know, a wasp spray. It's not like a one shot. Like, it really does disperse nicely. So I like the sprayer on it. That worked really nicely. And it felt nice on the skin. Like, it was fresh and light. I would probably use this either to like mix with, you know, pigments or whatever, kind of as just like a mixing medium, or I would use it as a primer spray or a refresher spray during the day, because it does have that light spritz to it. Really doesn't have a scent to it. Like, I really can't smell pretty much anything other than like maybe just ingredients. Like, it's basically no scent to it, but it just has a nice refreshing feeling on the skin. So I actually do like this. Is it doing amazing things for the skin? I'm not really sure, but feels nice on the skin, and I like the spritzer. Then the lip scrub, this is the Perfect Pout Lip Scrub, and the set came with Pecker Up. And there's also Citrus Elixir on the Wet n Wild's website. So the Wet n Wild's website says, deliciously sweet and made with extra fine sugar, these will buff away dead skin from your lips, keeping them soft and feeling heavenly. Featuring Muru seed butter, which has excellent moisturizing and nourishing properties, and Tukuma seed butter that acts as an emollient, lubricant, and moisturizing agent. So I did use this morning, and I like it. I really do like it. I don't use lip scrubs regularly. I probably should, but I don't. But I really do like this one. First off, it smells amazing. So good. Like watermelon double bubble, or a Jolly Rancher. A watermelon Jolly Rancher, it smells a lot like that. It smells just incredible. It was nice and gritty. It did do a good job of exfoliating my lips. It did feel hydrating as well. I didn't purposely try to taste it because I don't know if it's safe to do that, but it did taste sweet just as I was removing it. I did taste some sweetness like sugar, and it just smells amazing and does a good job. So as far as lip scrubs go, I think it's a good one. Then there are a couple of eyeliners in the box. There is the Mega Liner Liquid Eyeliner in the shade Winged and Wild, which is kind of a greeny, like a hunter green, like a deep green sort of a color. And then there is the Mega Liner Metallic Liquid Eyeliner, and this one is in Gilded Wings, and this is like a true yellowy gold. So these are, if you've used these kind of Wet n Wild eyeliners before, they are the brushy tip sort of a situation. So, you know, I'm not the greatest at application with those, but that's what we got going on here. They're a pretty, you know, traditional kind of oh, what would you even call that? Brush tip sort of a liner. So it's that sort of a situation. And I used the gold one today on my upper lash line. I did put a little bit of black liner just right at the base of my lashes, just to kind of, you know, finish off the look a little bit. But what I noticed about it is that first pass, it's not sheer, but it's very liquidy, and so it really has to be built. So this is 2 layers, which is what I did on my eyes, and it worked really nicely that way. So it does build on itself nicely, so I don't see that as a problem. I really didn't see it running as I was applying it, so it still did work really nicely. And then this one is just a really pretty kind of blackened deep green. So obviously this one is metallic, and this one is just like basically a matte. Yeah, it's drying down to be super matte. Just a matte deep green color, which I think is really fun. I think they picked really fun colors. It just has a very, you know, tropical bird sort of a feeling to this collection. So I really, really like these. I think they picked good shades, and I think they work well. And then there are 3 different eyeshadow quads in the box. So first off, there is Hasta La Costa Baby. Hasta La Costa. I don't think I'd actually looked at the name. That is so cute and funny. So this one is a really fun, colorful one. So if you are looking for the colorful one in this collection, I would go with this one, obviously, because you get a fun purple, you get a fun green, like a turquoisey green sort of a color. And then the whitish sort of shade looks like it's gonna be more matte, but it really ends up being like a satin shimmer, like a satin metallic. It's right on the cusp. As you kind of apply more of it, it gets a little bit more metallic-y. So it's definitely not a matte. And then you get a nice transition shade in there, which is a pretty light transition color. I do have a little bit of that in my crease, but I tried to use as many shadows as I could. So that one is Hasta La Costa Baby. Then there is Flock Party. They always do such a fun job with their names. They just have the cutesiest names. So this one is more of a warm toned, golden, burgundy sort of a palette. It is swatched right there. So I'll get into the formula on these in just a second, but I want to show you the colors first. So this burgundy shade ends up being a lot lighter than it looks in the pan. It looks like it's going to be a super dark color, but it really has to be built up. This was a couple of layers there to even get that pigmentation, but it is still a pretty color. It just doesn't end up being nearly as vibrant and dark as it looks in the pan. And then the kind of like golden antique color, I really like that one. Has a little bit of a shift to it, like a peachy shift. So it's kind of a bronzy shade with a little bit of that peachy shift to it. And then this one doesn't have a lot of pigmentation to it. It's kind of a light pinky sort of color, but it just doesn't have a lot to it. So that one's a little bit disappointing in this little quad. And then lastly, you get a transition shade in there. So there's that one. And then lastly is Stop Ruffling My Feathers. Stop Ruffling My Feathers. And this is just a fun metallic-y palette. You do get a transition shade in there, but you get 3 fun metallics. I have this one on my lids. Really, really pretty. It's like a duochrome light pinky sort of color, like light pinky peach kind of a color, a fun coppery shade there. This one, again, doesn't have a ton of pigmentation. It's kind of a light, like a taupey color, like a pinky taupe, but it really has to be built up a little bit. So talking about the formula on these, the mattes are really, really nice, and they are more on the soft side. So you kind of have to be a little bit delicate with the mattes. Like, don't get in there and really dig your brush in. But the metallic-y shades, you really have to dig your brush in. At least that's what I found, to really get some pigmentation to them. And they do develop a little bit of hard pan. Like this one's getting some hard pan just from me using it. But with that situation, I was still able to get really pretty pigmentation and like a duochrome effect on the eyes. So it was still functional, it was still workable, but you just may notice some things when you're working with the metallics, that you might get a little bit of hard pan, which is a bummer deal, and you might have to really kind of dig your brush in there to get some product to build on itself. It's like they're just really tightly packed into the pan. This one's doing a little bit of hard pan too, so kind of 2 sides of the coin there, like that you've got really soft sort of mattes that are very nice. I do like the mattes, but you just have to be a little bit careful with them. And then you have kind of the really tightly packed metallic-y shades that you kind of have to dig in there, and then they end up being pretty too. So I wouldn't say like the best eyeshadow formula ever, but still very, very workable for the price. I think they're really pretty. They do look really beautiful on the eyes, so I'm still really totally pleased with the eyeshadows. It's just, you have to you might have to do a little bit of tweaking and you might notice some things as you're using them, but still definitely workable. Then there are 3 different blushes, and they're baked blushes, and they are beautiful. I'm obsessed with these. Okay, so this is what the outside packaging looks like. Then you open it up and it has a really cute like indentation of a bird on it, so that's a super cute little detail. Indentation of a bird, I don't know why I said bird like that, but there's a bird on it and it's really super cute, so I like that little added detail. So let's run through the different shades. So first off is Dare to Soar, and this is the deepest, and it's right up here. So this is a beautiful, just kind of deep, sort of a purpley fuchsia pink is how I would describe it. I do have actually all 3 of these on my cheeks today, so I have this one the lowest, so right down there, just a little bit of it. I do have to be kind of careful with this one because it is pretty pigmented for my fair skin tone, so I have to be a little bit, you know, light-handed with this one, but it's so pretty. It's really, really beautiful. It does have a shift to it. All of these do, but this is the deepest one. Next is Don't Flutter Yourself. Don't Flutter Yourself. I think this one has to be my favorite. It's so beautiful. This one is really moving towards more of a highlight than a blush. It's very, very light, but I love it. It's like an icy, peachy sort of a color, but it does have a pink tint to it too. I don't know, it's just gorgeous. I do have this on my cheeks as well. This one's probably the most metallic-y and the most wabam, but in a really good way. I like the wabam to it. It's beautiful. Love this one. And then lastly is Hummingbird Hype. Hummingbird Hype. And this one is kind of a, like a, I don't even know how to describe it, like a coppery bronzy peach sort of a shade. It's not super bronzy. I would call it more of a peach, but it does have a like a golden coppery tint or undertone to it. There's something else thrown in there with it. It's really, really beautiful. I do have this on the tops of my cheekbones. Probably kind of, you know, not ideal for me to use there with my skin tone, but it's still really pretty. It's just got that kind of peachy golden tint to it that just catches the light and just flashes. It's beautiful. These blend really nicely onto the skin. They're very easy to work with. I mean, I really wouldn't even call it a problem, but the only thing to think about when you use these blushes is that they are very shimmery. So, I mean, it does kind of accentuate texture, but that's just kind of the nature of a super metallic-y sort of a cheek product. So, you know, you have to go into it knowing what they are. I think they're really, really beautiful. I love them. And then lastly, in the box, there are 4 different glosses. The packaging on these glosses is so super cute. It's got this kind of chevron print with little birds and flowers over the top. It's just super duper cute. So I love the packaging on these glosses. So the color I've been wearing this whole video, which I'm actually about to reapply a little bit, is Featherless. Featherless. And this is just a beautiful kind of peachy color. It's really pretty. So I haven't been wearing this that long, and it has already faded. I mean, so these aren't the longest wearing glosses, but they're very comfortable and very nice and hydrating feeling on the lips. So that's kind of, you know, what you get with glosses. You either get sticky and fairly long wearing, or you get really comfortable and not as long wearing. So this is more on the comfortable side of things. And it is a kind of flat doe foot applicator situation. So it's not an angled or anything like that. It doesn't have any kind of a little reservoir. It's just a flat sort of a doe foot applicator. So Featherless is a really pretty peachy shade. I love this color. It is just that throw it in your purse sort of a shade. I use a little bit of a lip liner just to kind of define my lips a little bit more, but I absolutely love this shade. Just the most beautiful, neutral, peachy sort of a what am I saying? I was gonna say sort of a shade, sort of a color. My brain went, I'm not sure what word you're trying to say. Sort of a color, that's what I'm trying to say. It's a peachy sort of a color. Next shade is Fly Gal, Fly Gal, and this is kind of more of a light pinky sort of color. What I really like about these glosses too is they kind of have, in my opinion, I mean, everybody has different opinions, but I love the amount of pigmentation that these have. They have just enough where if you put them with a lip liner, they really do have some color to them, but they still look very natural and glossy looking. They're not like a lip paint or something like that. They really are truly a gloss, but they do have some color to them. So pretty. So I love this one too. This is another live in your purse sort of color, but this is just more on the pinky side. Ooh, this one is really fun. I love this shade. This is so cute. It's such a cute color, but it's also a little bit muted as well, like a little bit deeper. This is Pout of Paradise. Pout of Paradise. That's adorable. This one has a lot more pigmentation to it, but it's still not to the point of being like a lip paint. It's still just like a pigmented gloss. Love it. So this is, let me get it on my hand. I don't know why I'm trying to make this swatch just perfect, because it's not gonna be just perfect, but I'm trying to make it just perfect. So this is like it's like a deeper orange. It's got just a muted, deeper tint to it. It's not that bright neon-y orange. So I love this, and I feel like it's very unique too, with like a coppery eye look. Oh my gosh, this would be beautiful. And that kind of peachy, coppery sort of a highlighty blush. Ooh, so many makeup look options with this collection. And then the last gloss shade is Shut the Pluck Up. Shut the Pluck Up. So it's right there, went ahead and swatched it. So it's a really pretty kind of deep burgundy wine sort of a color, kind of more on the purpley side rather than on the red side. So a deep purpley burgundy wine sort of a color. Really, really pretty. So if you like a darker sort of a gloss color, I would definitely go with this one. I love these glosses. Love the formula of them, love the packaging, love how they feel on the lips, love the color selection. These two are my favorites, but I really super love this one too, just because it's unique. So glosses are one of my favorite things in this box. All right, guys, so that's everything that I have to show you from the collection. So overall thoughts, I love it. This has been my favorite Wet n Wild collection in a while. I just absolutely love the glosses, love the blushes, really like the eyeshadows, and I like the other things that are in the box too. And the box is a great value. If they still have them in stock, I think it was like $35 and you got all that stuff. So, but even if you have to pick up things individually, there are so many things that I love in here. Just such a fun, cute, really good collection. So I super love it. So I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video, and I hope it was helpful for you. Please hit a thumbs up if it was. Let me know down below if you've tried anything from this collection. What do you think about it? I would love to know your thoughts and opinions. Ask me any questions that you have. I'm happy to answer those. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!